presidency. We all do. But what is its larger effect? Well, for an answer, take a look at 3 gatherings this week on the other side of the planet. Attended by all the major Asian countries, the ASEAN and East Asia summits in Singapore and the APEC conference in Papua New Guinea are particularly important because countries in the region are trying to navigate the seismic power shift taking place there, the rise of China. For this, it is crucial they understand the role of the world's current superpower, the United States. But the President of the United States is MIA. Donald Trump chose to skip the summits and send Vice President Mike Pence in his place, yet China's President Xi Jinping, Russia's Vladimir Putin, and India's Narendra Modi all visited either Singapore or Papua New Guinea, while Japan's Shinzo Abe and South Korea's Moon Jae-in traveled to both. A persistent complaint from Asian countries has been that while the United States worries about the rise of China, as Pence did in his speech at the ASEAN summit, it is abandoning the field to Beijing. It does not take the time to attend meetings, shape the agenda, shore up its alliances, deepen its ties in the region. Trump's continued lack of interest will only feed this fear. We're seeing the Trump effect in the retreat on trade in Asia as well. The 2 mechanisms for greater prosperity and cooperation that were moving toward completion in the region had been the Trans-Pacific Partnership and the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership. Trump pulled America out of the TPP, undermining the pact's goal of giving Asian countries a stable alternative to a Chinese-dominated system. And after 24 rounds of negotiations for the RCEP, which includes China, momentum appears to have slowed, perhaps even stalled. India is trying to protect its market from Chinese imports. Other countries are trying to keep India's service industries out. And everyone can take solace that this is all simply an echo of what the world's superpower, the United States, is doing in its own trade negotiations. I've said before and continue to believe that the Trump administration has a valid point about China's abuse of the global trading system, and it is right to get tough with Beijing. But it is grossly mistaken in its instinctive opposition to trade in general, repeatedly voiced by the president. Trump said in July,
"If we didn't trade, we'd save a hell of a lot of money."
This statement is simply false. According to calculations by the Peterson Institute for International Economics, the expansion of trade since 1950 raised U.S. GDP to the tune of $2.1 trillion in 2016. That is the equivalent of a gain of $7,014 per person or $18,131 per household. There are few ideas that have been as thoroughly tested through history as the notion that trade raises a country's income and living standards. It can also have the effect of creating habits of cooperation, even peace, as it has done in Europe, and as it might help to do in Asia. American leaders understood that for decades, until now. In 1988, Ronald Reagan said in a radio address,
"We should beware of the demagogues who are ready to declare a trade war against our friends, weakening our economy, our national security, and the entire free world, all while cynically waving the American flag. The expansion of the international economy is not a foreign invasion. It is an American triumph, one we worked hard to achieve, and something central to our vision of a peaceful and prosperous world of freedom."